Detailed instructions on how to use the ChimSpect app and software. Here's our current promotion. If you haven't already done so, you can go to chimspect.com and sign up. After you've watched this video, send an email to jim@chimspect.com with the subject line promotional refund, and I'll refund your first month of service. You'll lock in our promotional price for at least 1 year. Our current pricing is $70 per month. That includes one device and the dashboard. If you need additional devices, each additional device is $30 per month. You can cancel at any time, so this is a no-risk offer. ChimSpect is available for the Apple iOS platform as well as the Android platform, which is available through the Google Play Store. It works on tablets, it works on smartphones. We also have a dashboard that works hand in hand with the app to make the app even more powerful.
This is Jim Ferguson with ChimSpect, Chimney Software Inspection Systems. I'm going to walk you through the sign-up process. From your PC, go to dashboard.chimspect.com. In the upper right-hand corner, click on Sign Up. You'll need to provide your email, your name, company name, a password that's at least 8 digits and contains numbers and uppercase letters. Click on Sign Up. This is where you're going to need a verification code. This is going to be sent to your email. You'll come back to this site and provide your verification code. This is not the code that you need to activate a device. So if you've gone to the website and downloaded our app, it might be a good idea to go ahead and delete that app at this point and re-download it. But this is not the verification code that you need to activate that device. Go to our email. Click on verification code. This verification code is only good for about 15 minutes. Press verify account. You've successfully confirmed your account. Now you can go ahead and sign into ChimSpect with your email and password. The first place you're going to need to go is payments. You'll go into payments and you'll activate the number of devices that you want to have access to. The web administrator is your admin portal that you will normally access from a PC, but you can also access that from a browser on your mobile device. And then you're going to select how many devices that you want to add. I would suggest that you add as many devices that you are planning to activate with your crews at this time. Each device is an additional $30. Now, the subscription is a risk-free subscription offer. You'll have 30 days to cancel. So I recommend that you put it in the hands of as many of your employees as possible so that you can determine the best way to use this. You'll be able to add and delete devices later. For now, just press on how many devices that you want to activate. Click on subscribe now. And this is where you'll input your payment information. This is all very self-explanatory, and I am not going to give you my credit card number at this time. When we come back with our next video, we will talk about setting up your dashboard and activating devices.
We are going to take a look at your dashboard and how to set up your devices. Go to chimspect.com, click sign in. Put your email and password that you signed up with, click sign in, and this will take you to your dashboard. First, we want you to go to profile. In profile is where you're going to put in your company name, your company address, your company email, phone number. You're going to want to find your logo, choose that file, and our software will automatically size your logo appropriately for your cover page. Another part of what is being built in your profile is your disclaimer. If you see this text in this box for the disclaimer, you're going to receive the disclaimer that we have written for the system. It's pretty good. You should take a look at it. You may want to edit it and have it be more custom for your situation. If you are going to build your own disclaimer, these items are called placeholders. So any place in your disclaimer that you would want the customer name, his address, the information, your company name, address information, inspector's information, you would simply click on any one of these placeholders, and that's going to automatically insert it in your document where you want it. If you decide you want to go back to our own disclaimer, simply delete everything that's in this box. You'll get the grayed out text again, and then you can use our disclaimer that's built into the system. Also, just note that from the profile you can click on change your password or change your subscription if you want to add more devices than you already have signed up for, or if you want to reduce the number of devices that you've got. We'll cover that here in a little bit. This little box down here, again, this allows us to collect any information that you put in your comment assist, and it might help us into building a comment assist library for others. Click save, and then we're going to want you to go to the devices tab. On devices, this is going to say no devices added, but obviously I've been using my account for a while, so we're going to have devices here. What you would do, this tab is going to be very close to the top. You would click add a device. Here's where you'd put in the inspector's name. After the inspector's name, I recommend you put any certifications that he has and the certification number. I would say, I wouldn't just say CSIA certified and the number. I would say certified chimney sweep, CSIA, and then the number. The same thing with if you're NFI or fire. I would spell out what those certifications mean. I am a fire certified chimney inspector, and then your inspector's badge number. Also, you could put your email here, and then put waiting for activation. This is the activation code that you're going to put in your device. So if you've opened up your app and it says waiting for activation, this is the activation that you code that you put in, and you don't need to worry about case sensitive because it's automatically going to go in as capital letters. Now your device is activated. From here, we're going to take a look at the comment assist library, and we'll be back with that section shortly. This session, we're going to take a look at adding comments to your comment assist library, your way of customizing your system to your needs. Go to ChimSpect and sign in. You'll want to go to your comment assist library. You'll click on that tab. This section right here is all the parent categories that we look at: the masonry chimney, the flue, the masonry fireplace, prefab chimney, freestandings, vent, or actually vents and connectors. For now, we're going to click on flue, and now this is going to bring up every area that we look at when we are looking at the flue. For now, we're going to look at level of cleanliness of the venting system. You'll notice that I have a couple of comments in here. These are simply demonstration comments that I had added to our system previously. We're going to go ahead and add a new comment. What you'll first want to do is add an excerpt, which is just going to be a couple of brief words so that you can find what you put in the system easily, so that you can use it at any time that you need it. So let's just put demo, and then we can put anything that we want to put in here. Very dirty, glazed, unsafe, whatever we want to add. Okay, so we're going to save that comment. Now we're going to take a look at on our device. If you open up your app and you went to masonry chimney, and then you went to flu, then you'll notice that we can scroll down until we find the level of cleanliness of the venting system. And I am going to tap on this clipboard right here, and you're not going to see the comment that we just added. Matter of fact, you see a couple of other comments there. How you get the comments to show up in your library is these three little lines up here at the top. You will click on that. It opens up a new menu. This little arrow with the smiley face under it, we're going to click on that, and it says that we can upload or download our disclaimer, and this also downloads our comment assist library. So now we're going to open up, it says profile updated successfully. Tap on this little clipboard so that we can see what we have in our library, and you'll see that demo is there. Demo, very dirty, glazed, unsafe. That's all it takes to update your comment assist library so that you can build your library to suit your needs. And again, you can do that with any element, any parent element, any of the items that we fill in, so that you can put any comments in that you use regularly. Now, there are lots of comments that are already built into the system. Currently, we do not have them showing up when you click on one of them. Our comments are not available to edit, but rest assured we do have lots of comments in our library. We have well over 200 comments in our library, and we continue, and we'll probably be growing those sample comments. Those sample comments, you can edit them on your device, cut and paste them, copy them, use them any way that you want. That's it for the comment assist library. Now we're going to start learning about the actual app. This is the part you've anxiously been waiting for. First thing that we're going to do is icon identification. This house is where you would enter in your customer information and even take a picture from either your camera roll or from you with your camera. We also have other icons. First of all, if you put your finger and swipe to the right, you'll see that this brings up private notes. That's how to get into your private notes. This is where you would type something in that maybe you didn't want your client to see in a report, like you showed up at 10 o'clock in the morning and they were already drunk. If you tap private notes again, that'll save whatever comments that you put in there, and that will be available for you on your dashboard. If you ever need to call customer support and they want to know what version of the software that you're running, they'll want you to click right on this icon, and these numbers right here, we'll just want you to read those to us, and it will help us to find out what version of the software that you are using. These three little lines here open up a new menu. This is what we call the download icon. It just looks like a little arrow down with a happy face under it. If you've worked on an inspection and you want to delete it from your device, you click the trash can. This cloud with an arrow up uploads your inspection to your dashboard or to the cloud. This little check mark right here marks your inspection as done. If you mark it as done, you will not be able to edit it on your device anymore, but you will be able to edit it from your dashboard, and we'll go over that in a little while. This icon right here is the folder icon. This is your stored inspections, and it's also where you would click to add a new inspection. This icon right here, I call the home icon. If you tap this, this is if you're building a system, like say where you added a masonry chimney and you wanted to add a second masonry chimney, you would tap that icon and it would bring up this menu again so that you could add a second menu or a second masonry chimney. If you wanted to go back to that first masonry chimney and do some work on it, tap on masonry chimney number 1, and then you're going to be able to add a flue, and from there you can choose whether you want to add a fireplace or a freestanding. But let's say you wanted to add multiple flues to this chimney, you would just tap on masonry chimney and hit plus flue. Now we have multiple flues. We can rename any of these elements that are up in this top bar by simply doing what we call a long press, and then you can rename that if you choose to do that. So you might want to say that flue number 2 is the furnace flue. So you can cancel, you can change the name. Going further down, this little box right here that looks like a clipboard, if there is a check mark in that box, it means it's going to show up in the customer's report. If there's no check mark in that box, it will only be any information that you would enter in here is only going to show up in your own report. This icon is how you would get pictures from your library or from your camera. This icon opens and closes the little dialog box, and the furthest over icon is anything from your comment assist library. If it's grayed out, there usually are not comments already in that. We'll come down to this one. You see that it's not grayed out. I'll tap on it and you'll see that we have several options that we can use from our comment assist library. This icon here is the printer icon. When you tap on the printer, it brings up this menu on you, and what this says is the fallback report generation. Your report does not have its headers and footers entered until you would save it to the cloud. So if you try to print with this using this icon at the moment, your report's not going to have nice neat divisions on it. We'll go over printing and emailing a little bit later. The last icon here is your on-device presentation, and that is a very powerful tool that lets us show the customer everything that we have added into our report. Again, we're going to go over that shortly. For now, we're just learning the different icons. Now let's take a look at special fields that do math in ChimSpect. One of the amazing things that ChimSpect does that nothing else on the market currently does, it does a lot of the math for you. Let's add a masonry chimney, and the first field that's going to use math is when we add a flue, and we scroll down to the flue shape. Now when I click on the flue shape, notice these fields below it are going to change when I add a flue shape. Let's call it a rectangular flue, and let's say that this flue is 11 1/4 inches, and the internal flue opening, let's say that's 7 1/4 inches. Okay, now let's go to the fireplace and let's see it start to use some of this math. The fireplace width, let's say it's 36. The fireplace height, let's say it's 30. And notice it's going to fail because that flue is undersized for the opening of the fireplace. Let's go down to the combustible trim. According to NFPA 211, we look at, is it more than 1.5 inches or equal to or less than 1.5 inches? Let's say it's more than 1.5 inches, and our combustible trim needs to be 12 inches. 15 would pass, 11 would not. So let's put that in as 12. The hearth extension size measured starting at the face of the fireplace. That is the way that NFPA 211 describes it. That hearth needs to be at least 20 inches. Anything less, it would fail. Oops. There we go. Okay, that's going to fail. Hearth extensions on the side of the fireplace, same thing. That needs to be at least 12 inches. Anything less would fail. Firebox depth must be 20. Anything less would fail. Throat size must be 8. Smoke chamber height, it's measured from your damper to where the flue tile begins. 42 inches would fail because it cannot exceed the width of the fireplace, which is 36. Again, it's very important not to add inch marks. The only thing that can be used in these fields is a decimal point if you want to do a fraction of an inch, so it will have to be in a decimal point. If you use the inch marks, it won't save properly, and it also won't work in your math, and it may even cause your report not to save properly.
Let's get started with our mock inspection for the ChimSpect app. Tap on the icon for our app, and this is the opening page. To start your inspection, up in the upper right hand corner next to the ChimSpect software logo is 3 little lines. Tap on the 3 little lines. It opens up a new menu, and you'll notice the folder icon all the way to the left with the plus sign on it. Tap that and tap Add New Inspection. All the way over to the left hand side in the upper corner is a house icon. Tap on it, and that's going to be where you can put all the customer information in. This is also where you would choose your reason for inspection. Many of these items are what would trigger a level 2 inspection. Let's say we're doing a sweeping with an inspection, and we're going to say that we're going to do a level 2 inspection on that, but we can do level 1 parts of a level 2, level 2 parts of 3, or possibly just as needed for an estimate if you are just doing an estimate for a minor repair on the outside of the chimney. This is also the information that's going to go on the cover page of your report. So you're going to want to add a picture of the house from the curb. You can either do that from your camera roll, or you can take a picture. Now we're just doing a picture of a picture on another iPad so that I can quickly do an inspection report. We'll use that photo. Now we've given us all the information that we need to build our cover page. You'll notice the icon that has the plus masonry chimney. We're doing a masonry chimney here. We will touch a long tap and we will rename it. Let's just call this fireplace chimney. Fireplace chimney chimney. Fireplace chimney. Change name. Let's say we have more than one chimney on this home. Let's tap the little icon right next to fireplace chimney that looks like a chimney. And you'll notice that we could add another masonry chimney. We could add a factory built chimney, or we could add a chase. And if we added a chase, then we would have the opportunity to put a factory built chimney inside of that. Let's say that I added these by accident and they need to go away. Let's do a long tap on chase number 1 and we can delete it. Okay, let's go through the inspection of the fireplace chimney. Let's say we wanted to take a picture of the chimney from the outside. We'll use our camera roll, or we'll use our camera again. Again, we could have used the camera roll. These next few fields are optional, whether you want to add those or not. They are good to have for your own records. They won't show up in the customer's report unless you tap the little clipboard here, which puts a check mark in it. Now that would show up in the customer's written report as well as the on-device presentation. The customer knows their chimney's brick, so I don't want it to show up in their report. But for our information, we want to know that that's an exterior chimney. It has an asphalt roof. It's approximately a 412 pitch. The length of the crown, let's say it's 62 inches. The width of the crown, let's say it's 24. Now, right now we're not inspecting the crown, we're just putting some dimensions in. Approximate height above the ground, let's say 25 feet. Approximate height above the roof, 4 feet. Now, does the chimney height meet the 3-2-10 rule? Well, let's say no, it doesn't. Let's put a comment in from our comment assist library. And let's take a picture. Matter of fact, let's use that same picture. Yes, that chimney does meet the 3-2-10 rule, but I took that from kind of an angle that makes it look like it really doesn't. Okay, let's go on down with our inspection report. The mortar condition on this chimney was pretty gruesome. We use that photo. Again, we can use multiple photos in any one of these fields. There's no limit to how many photos that you put in there. Again, we're going to go to our comment assist library and we're going to say that that mortar has significant cracks. Our little short dialogue helps us know what our longer information is going to be. And notice that we can have multiple comments and we can append, replace, or just cancel the whole thing. But let's append this and notice that we have quite a bit of dialogue in here. Again, we can edit this any way that we want, or you can use our comments as they are. Scroll on down. Let's look at the crown and wash cap of this chimney. Now again, obviously this isn't the same chimney, but this is just to help us see what the app will do. We'll use our comment assist library. Significant cracks. It's deteriorated. It's a mortar crown. Now this particular tab I just tapped on, you can choose to use it or choose not to use it. Again, any blanks that you leave in the report are not going to show up as an incomplete report. Let's look at the expansion joint on this chimney. Obviously no expansion joint there. And we do have some comment that we can add. And if you'll notice, the only comments that are available in each of these fields is the one that pertains to that particular field. So no searching through massive libraries. Okay, now I want to move on to the flue. So I press add a flue. And this flue will always be attached to this chimney. So if you were to add another chimney, you'll notice that the flue is not attached to that chimney. Now let's say I added this by mistake. We'll do a long press. We'll delete that. And we're just back to the chimney that we're working on. I want to show you some special fields. And we're going to move along quickly because, again, all of the icons work exactly the same for every item that you are going to inspect. Now I am going to go down to flue shape, and I want you to notice the elements right below flue shape. As I select rectangular, you notice that they changed. Let's go with circular. They change. Oval, they change. Let's go back to rectangular. Internal flue opening length. We have a lot of 12 by 12 flues around here, but really the inside of those 12 by 12 flues around here is about 10.25 by 10.25. Again, every item that you would be looking at when you're looking at the flue, according to NFPA 211, is mentioned in these fields. Let's go ahead and add a fireplace to this. Again, I just want to show you some of the special functions. I'm not really trying to do a complete report here. Choose your fireplace type. We do have support for Rumford fireplaces, but let's select traditional masonry fireplace. The fireplace width, let's say that fireplace width is 36. And the fireplace height is, let's go with 36 on that too, because I want it to fail according to the flue size. Notice that little red exclamation points that showed up? It's letting you know that that flue is undersized by almost 19%. Now let's reduce this down to a 30-inch flue, and notice it's undersized by just a little under 3%. This app does a lot of the math for you. Let's say that the combustible trim sticks out more than 1.5 inches. That's the way NFPA 211 describes it. So let's look at our clearance to combustible trim, and let's put that at 8 inches. It fails. Let's go 12 inches. It passes. Hearth extension size, starting measuring at the face of the fireplace. Let's say it's 19. That's going to fail. 20. It's going to pass. That's because our fireplace opening is greater than 6 square feet. So let's put this down to a fireplace width of 28 and make this 26. And our hearth extension size, let's put that at 16. Now it's going to pass. And notice our exclamation points went away up there. Okay, let's change these back so that we have some failures here. Hearth extensions on the side of the fireplace. This is measuring from the side of the fireplace to the edge of the hearth. Let's go with 6. It's going to fail. Let's go with 8. It's going to fail. Let's go with 12. It passes. So let's make it 11 so that it fails. Again, we use our comment assist. Okay, fireplace depth. Let's go with 19. It's going to fail. It needs to be 20. Throat size, 7, going to fail. Let's go with 8. And again, all of the things that you would inspect on the fireplace are in this field. From this, we can also end our report and go ahead and generate a PDF of this report. As this saves, I'm going to end this session of the demonstration.
Let's talk about adding multiple appliances in one flue. For example, you have a masonry chimney that has a flue tile in it, and the flue is for both a water heater and a furnace. You would add a masonry chimney, you would add a flue, and then you would add a freestanding. Now let's start with the gas furnace. Let's click on fuel. Notice what happens below in the fields right below that. I'm going to click gas, and some things are going to change. I would always recommend that you put the BTU input of the appliance, and I would also recommend that you take a picture of the appliance in the event that the appliance was ever changed out. Let's say that this is the furnace, and the furnace is a category 1. And you can take more pictures of the appliance, general condition of the appliance, but in order to connect that to the flue, we have to add a connector pipe, and we can rename these, which would be helpful in this particular instance. Okay, we will rename this furnace connector pipe. We'll change this freestanding name to furnace. Now we need to add the water heaters. What we'll do is we will go back and click flue. Matter of fact, while we're here, why don't we go ahead and rename this as the gas flue. We will add a freestanding. We will rename this the water heater. Fuel again on this would be gas. The BTU input, let's say this is a 40,000 BTU. The appliance is the water heater. And again, I would always recommend that you take a picture of the appliance in the event that the customer changes the appliance, and possibly they change it with a different BTU rating of the appliance, and possibly it was a lined chimney at the time with a proper sized flue liner, but they changed out the appliance with maybe a larger appliance because they weren't getting enough hot water for the whole family. So they change out the appliance, and maybe it's no longer appropriate for the size liner. So this is just another way to protect yourself. So if there was another water heater, we could add that.
We are going to look at the on-device presentation of your inspection report. If you go to the ChimSpect logo in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the 3 lines, the the printer icon, and a icon looks like a computer monitor. Click on the computer monitor icon, and it begins their inspection report. Every field that you wanted the customer to see, where you put in a green check mark in the box, is going to show up with its own page on your PowerPoint style presentation. Any information that you typed in, like I typed in the bricks are no longer being held in place by the mortar. Also, each one of your pictures, you can open each one of the pictures, zoom in on it, point out further details to your customer, and move on to the next item in your inspection report. Once you have gone through the entire inspection report with the customer, I'm going to click to the end of the report. You'll have the ability to have put in your findings and conclusions, what you want your customer to remember from your inspection report. And they'll also have the ability to sign their inspection report right on your device. This one's already been signed. I'm going to go to one that hasn't been signed. You notice I've have something written in the signature acknowledgement area. You have to have something there for them to acknowledge in order for the green check mark to show up. Then when you go to your inspection report, there's the findings and conclusions. This will be the acknowledgement that they sign, and then you'll have the ability to sign right on the device. Once you've then saved that inspection report to the cloud by tapping on the... Welcome back for another training session of the ChimSpect app for detailed chimney inspections and report writing. Today our lesson is going to be on printing and emailing from the ChimSpect app on an Apple device. First, you want to save your document to the cloud. Then you want to generate your report for the printer. And please notice that one of the idiosyncrasies of the Apple device is it will always wait until it has a printer hooked up to it before it actually formats the print. It gets information from the printer to be able to format the document. Notice the headers and footers are just a little bit off. Then I select a printer. Now it's formatted the document for our printer. And now all the headers and footers have completely lined up the way that they're supposed to be. Now I could go ahead and print the document, or if I want to email it, I just zoom in or do a reverse pinch. Tap the icon in the upper right hand corner. Hit mail. And now I can email my PDF report to my client. It's as easy as that. Thanks. Join us again for another training session.
Now we're going to take a look at some of the challenges in using a smaller device. Currently I'm using an iPhone 6s for this demonstration. One of the problems with the smaller devices is you don't have a lot of real estate. Let's open up the ChimSpect app, and it immediately opens to the customer input screen. And we do have the gray down here that we could tap on it to make this screen go away. But the problem that we're going to have is when we add a picture, Now we don't have any screen down there and we can't scroll and close that. To overcome this obstacle, double tap the home button, swipe up the app so the app closes, open the app again, and now you're in that same inspection. I'm deleting that photo so that I have the gray space to tap on there. You're in that, just to show you that you're in that same inspection. And now you can use all of the fields in ChimSpect. Another complication with the smaller devices is you'll notice that in the portrait mode, our icons are mushed together up here. Pretty hard to select a particular icon, and unless you're familiar with this app, you wouldn't know that what these plus signs are for. If you switch to the landscape mode, now you can see what all of the icons are, and they're not squished together up here. You can continue to use the app in the portrait mode or the landscape mode if you feel comfortable typing this way. Let's go ahead and there you would be able to type and scroll through the different fields. If you like to type in the portrait mode, you would just have to simply go back to the portrait mode, use it that way, and then when you wanted to see your icons, then you're going to need to go back to the landscape mode. So there are a few extra challenges when you're using a smaller device, but they're easily overcome and you will enjoy using our app. Dashboard. Go to ChimSpect.com and sign in. Go to this tab that says Inspections, and you will notice that we have 20 inspections in this list because we are sorting by recent. If you don't see what you're looking for, you can click Load More Results, which adds 20 more to your results, or you can search by their address, name, phone number, or email. Keep in mind that you have to enter those in exactly as they were entered into the inspection, or it's going to come up showing no results. My favorite way to search is by date range, because you can just choose a range and hit search. Then you can look for the inspection that you're looking for. Earlier in this video, we talked about viewing that when you're doing an inspection, it's creating 3 separate reports. The one report is the PDF report that the customer is going to get. The other is the PowerPoint style presentation that your device is building. And the third way is viewing the raw data. So all of your data is being brought into your inspection report, and every field that you put something in, whether you put a check mark or not, is going to show up in this report. If you want to edit anything in this report, you need to click on the dark print. Here you could enter comments, you could change the photo. If there was a mistake in the customer's name, again, you hit the name field, it opens up this gray box, and then you can edit anything that you need to. Any of your orange fields, you can tap on that and rename that as well. About every 20 seconds, your inspection report is saved, so your changes are automatically saved. Now, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the report, you're going to notice that there is a box that says Archive Inspection. I'll explain what that is in a minute, but you can archive it or unarchive it. Also, if there were any private notes that you entered in during your inspection, you could edit them here. Or if your inspectors came back and had some information about this house that you decided you wanted to add to your file, you can add that to your file as well. This particular field right here is not edited here. That's the address at the top of the page. You would edit that here, and then it's going to, that will change when you change that. To get out of the editing mode of the inspection report, just click off to the side. Now, the importance of the archived inspections, many offices like to view every inspection report that comes through. When they view it, they've changed all their edits. They can add it to their archived inspection, and it won't show up in this list anymore. So a lot of companies like to keep this list very clean so they know what inspection reports they've looked at and have not looked at. Since we're on the dashboard, I'm going to show you a couple of other things that you can do from your dashboard. Click on the Profile tab. If you need to change your password, you can change your password. You would have to know your old password, put in your new password and confirm it, and then you can change your password. If you just forgot what your password is, you can go to the sign in page and click on I forgot my password, and it will take you through the steps that you need to be able to figure out what your password was. Also, from your Profile tab, you can change your subscription. Now, if you go to your Devices tab and you attempt to add another device, if it brings up the message, the error message that the maximum number of devices in your subscription have been used, you go to Profile, you click Change Your Subscription, and add, or you can actually remove devices and modify your subscription. You'll get a notification of what your subscription cost is going to change to. You can click Cancel or you can click OK. If you add additional devices, it's going to say that what the amount of your subscription is going to change per month, and any devices that you added in the middle of a billing period are going to show up as a partial charge. So if you came in around the middle of the month and added one device, you're going to get a one-time charge of approximately $15, and then the following months you will be charged the amount that it shows right here. If you have further questions, you can email me, Jim at ChimSpect.com, or you can call me at 330-268-9141, and I can answer your questions. Thank you. I hope you enjoy using ChimSpect. Well, here's our current promotion. Now that you have watched the video, you can sign up at chimspect.com if you haven't already done so. You can send me an email at jim@chimspect.com. In the subject, put promotional refund. I will refund your first month of service. I will lock in the promotional price for 1 year. Our current pricing is $70 per month for one device and the dashboard, and each additional device is $30 per month. This is a no-risk subscription, so you can cancel at any time. Thank you for watching Chimney Inspection Report Writing Simplified with ChimSpect. If you need the CEUs for CSIA, NFI, or Fire, please email me at jim@chimspect.com with your company name and certification numbers. I'll take care of the paperwork for you. Thank you. Please go and sign up at chimspect.com if you haven't already done so. Thank you for listening.